CSX has recently begun equipping the locomotive fleet with the Snyder Equipment Company's solid-stick flange lube systems. As these locomotives begin arriving on the service tracks, the following inspection and replacement procedure should be performed on every inbound consist. The flange lube solid stick should be inspected to determine if replacement is required. If the load spring has reached the bottom of the inside inspection window, it is time to replace the stick. Apply pressure to the slide to check the spring tension. If there is no pressure, the spring should be replaced. If there is pressure, then perform the inspection later in the video to ensure that the spring is not broken. To replace the stick, a slight pressure should be applied to the back of the slide to allow for the removal of the retaining pin. To remove the retaining pin, you must first remove the cotter key. While removing the retaining pin, caution should be taken, as the slide may be under a small amount of tension, so you should hold the back of the slide until the slide is removed. After the slide has been removed, remove and inspect the load spring. A broken spring may have sharp edges. Use caution when inspecting the spring. Replace if damaged or broken. Broken springs can be identified by inspecting the side view and/or exposing internal windings by pyramiding the spring. Insert a new stick and reapply the spring and slide, making sure the spring slot is pointed upward. Do not remove the old stick in the magazine. Apply the new stick behind the old stick. While pushing on the slide, insert the retaining pin with the red handle at the top and secure with cotter key. If stick replacement is not required, it is still a good idea to check the spring. A quick and easy way to check the spring is by pushing in on the back of the slide. If the slide returns immediately, the spring is functioning. If the slide does not return or is slow to return, the spring requires replacement. In this case, the same procedure as before should be followed. Magazine alignment should only be necessary on initial application or when a wheel has been disturbed, such as wheel truing or traction motor replacement, etc. When alignment is required, the following procedures should be utilized. To align and set the gap, a gap tool should be used. The gap tool should be inserted between the angled section of the magazine assembly and the tread of the wheel. It may appear in some cases that the stick is not in the throat, but the stick will work into the throat after a short run-in. The gap is determined by the type of truck you are working on. Consult your maintenance instructions for the recommended gap. To adjust the magazine assembly, in this case an EMD SD70 radial truck, you must first loosen the connecting hardware. Once the magazine assembly is loose, insert the gap tool, SD70 3/4 inches, and align the magazine to the wheel. Once in place, tighten the 4 connecting bolts and nuts to the mounting plate and apply the lube stick, spring, and slide. The Snyder gap tool has 3 hard measurements: 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/4 inch. The SD70 and SD80 locomotives use the 3/4 inch measurement. The remaining EMD locomotives use the 1/2 inch measurement. The GE steerable truck locomotives use the 1/2 inch measurement. The GE high adhesion truck locomotives use the 1/4 inch measurement. All other GE locomotives use the 1/2 inch measurement. For more information, refer to the latest version of SMR X-1400-17.